Well, it's that time again where Pokemon Masters brings us another interesting character, this time being the Master Hacker from the Galar region, Penny. Look, I'm not salty that we still don't have Clara, no, not at all. Anyway, I'll bet that pretty soon we can gather all three of these Scarlet and Violet friend characters for a reunion. So this little story begins with Penny coming across a gathering of Eevee fans after touching down in Pasio. This is a whole thing they're doing right now with all the Evolution users, and honestly, with the pre-established existence of Pokemon fan clubs in the video games, I'm surprised they don't organize entire Eevee conventions in the Pokemon universe. Afraid to immediately join in on a conversation, she's approached by Hugh and Bianca, who are investigating recent Pokemon thievery. Hugh was being a bit loud and presumptuous by asking Penny if she was a thief, but even though Penny would never kidnap a Pokemon, let's not forget that she has an actual criminal past. But you know, I should have seen this pairing coming. Penny, who claims she isn't very good at interacting with people face to face, hangs out with Bianca, who's an extrovert incarnate, and Hugh, who would bust down anything in his way. As the event went on, I really ended up liking what they were doing. For now, they bring Penny to a group of people who are having a bit of trouble connecting with their Eevee, and she's able to give them some good advice. Again, she also needs to give herself a bit of credit because she is a leader after all, even if it was behind the guise of Cassiopeia. From here, it kind of turns into Hugh and Bianca pushing Penny to meet and talk with even more new people. We get a funny little interaction between her, Rosa, and Nate, with Hugh coaching her from behind a Poryphone. But it's really nice, especially when we see Bianca reflecting on how she's grown and changed during her journey, and that makes a lot of sense for her to be the kind of mentor to some of the younger trainers, as she is a bit older than them, now working as a professor's assistant. Though our little story time comes to an end as one of the kids from before comes out crying that Team Break stole her Eevee, and this is exactly the kind of adventure that our group needs. I think it's also kind of a great opportunity and setup that works to further bring Penny and Hugh together. Sure, Penny loves Eevee and did meet this kid earlier, but she really has a personal stake in making sure other people don't just bully someone else because they can. She's never stood back and let something like that happen, being the one to lead the charge, even if from behind a phone screen. Meanwhile, Hugh knows what it's like for someone to lose their Pokemon, having dealt with Team Plasma and his sister's Pokemon. Of course, he's more of a frontline fighter. I really love the idea of pairing these two up as friends in this situation. They both just fit so well, even if they don't necessarily agree on a plan of attack at first. But they're able to track down the culprits, beat them in a battle, and rescue the Eevee. Afterwards, they catch up on the situation, and Penny shares a little more about her backstory, though I'm surprised Hugh didn't really mention all that much. It is interesting seeing both of these characters at least able to complete their little mission with some maturity. They've still got their flaws here and there, but these are versions of their characters who have already gone through their development from the main series games. The story ends with Penny realizing that Nimona is here on Pasio as well and has already become friends with Hilda, who shares her love of battling because, of course. In the end, I think this was a neat little event. Of course, the Eevee love is set to continue with even more in the future, including an event where Elaine and an Eevee kid team up to investigate rumors of a talking Eevee. It's fun, though I don't think it's as interesting as Penny and Hugh's story. It does, however, start making things with the timeline pretty weird because she does know Professor Oak and Blue. Pokemon Let's Go is a different interpretation of the Kanto storyline, but it's funny in the sense that Red and Blue still appear there, though more as older mentor trainers. So here in Pasio, we get their core interpretations, having been the protagonist and rival of Red and Blue, but still somehow knowing Elaine. I think Let's Go is its own continuity, but they've decided to bring in the protagonist characters to the main timeline as the other trainers that start their journey from Pallet Town later on, instead having their own little adventure where they do something different from the original protagonist. I guess it's one of those don't think about it too much kind of situations. Pokemon Masters is soft canon, so it shouldn't be completely relied on all too much, but personally, I like the idea of bringing in the Let's Go characters into the main series timeline just because we now have the original protagonist as older characters anyway. But let me know what you think about all the Eevee love that we've been getting in Pokemon Masters as the year begins to wind down. Also, if you have any theories, thoughts, or opinions on where this places everything, let me know that in the comments as well. I'm just starting to accept it all. Anyway, I've got to get back to training my evolutions as well. Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, especially the great Gators. Actual Clown, Black Ice, Cheeseburger Lasers, Dan V. Farrar, Dunkachino II, Eevee, Generic, Justin R, Cosmo Zero, Lil Swiss, Meme Supreme, Nathan Boyd, Snowman Nobi, Oleg Studios, Phantom, Peel the Genius, Quago, Tajirai, Viz, Volity, and Pastel Blood. If you would like to support, get your name shouted out here as well as access to emotes for comments, live streams, and sometimes early videos, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter as well for more memes. Anyway, this has been GatorX. I'll catch you all later.
Start your adventure together in the Pokemon trading card game Scarlet and Violet. Coming soon. Products sold separately, cards vary by pack.